When you first look at a programming log, it might just seem like a bunch of messy, technical jargon. But what if I told you it's actually something else entirely? Think of it as the raw transcript of a conversation between a human who's trying to learn and a machine that's trying to understand. It's a story of frustration, yeah, but also discovery and those amazing breakthrough moments that really define what it means to learn anything.
So every story needs a setting and its characters, right? Well, our setting is this digital space, the R console. And our characters? First, we've got an unseen but very determined human learner. And their partner in this whole dialogue is the computer, super powerful but also incredibly literal-minded.
And this is where it all begins, with this simple, blinking cursor. It's basically the digital version of a blank page or an empty canvas. It's just this quiet moment humming with potential, waiting for that first word, that first instruction, that first spark of an idea.
And bam, there it is, that first idea. Before a single line of actual code is written, our learner just types out what they want to do in plain English. That little hashtag means it's a comment, a note for them, not for the machine. It's a thought made visible. It's the human mind saying, okay, computer, here's the plan.
Okay, now we're getting to the real heart of the conversation. This is where things get interesting. The communication gets a little messy. The learner speaks, the computer responds, and through this whole series of misunderstandings, they slowly but surely start to figure out a common language. Let's watch this dialogue of errors unfold.
So here's the first try. The learner writes the code, but keeps their little note to themselves on the same line. The problem is, the computer can't tell the difference between the instruction and the human thought. It gets to the word creates, a word it doesn't know as a command, and it just stops. It's basically saying, hey, I was with you up until that point, but creates? That's not in my vocabulary.
And look at this. The second attempt is almost identical. Just a tiny change in the spacing, but same error. This just goes to show how unbelievably precise you have to be when you're talking to a machine. Being close just doesn't cut it. The language has to be perfect.
And this is so important to get. A syntax error isn't a failing grade. The computer isn't calling you dumb or saying you're wrong. It's just its simple, direct way of giving feedback. All it's saying is, sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you maybe rephrase it in a way I can process? It's just a communication breakdown, that's all.
Now, I absolutely love this attempt because it shows the beautiful, abstract way a human brain works. Our learner is thinking about the composition of the entire universe. Dark matter, light matter. It's poetic. But the computer? It doesn't think in concepts. It just sees the words dark matter as something it doesn't recognize and it hits a wall. The poetry is completely lost in translation.
So how do you get the computer to understand text? Well, you just have to put it in quotes. See, now the learner isn't asking the machine to understand the idea of 96.4.5/.5. They're just asking it to repeat the text. The computer goes, oh, okay, you want me to just hold on to this string of characters for you? No problem. And it prints it right back out. Easy.
But it gets even trickier. Now the learner takes the quotes away, asking the computer to actually calculate that expression. The machine tries its best. It really does. But it completely misinterprets what it's being asked to do. It just spits out this massive, confusing jumble of numbers and a warning. So the command worked, technically, but it absolutely did not do what the human wanted it to do.
Okay, so after all that back and forth, all that trial and error, you can feel it, right? Something is starting to click. The learner is beginning to really internalize the rules of this new language, and that leads to these little moments of genuine breakthrough where the conversation finally starts to flow.
And this is a perfect illustration of one of those breakthroughs. Seriously, look closely. Our learner wants to subtract 2 from 10. Logically, they try the command sub. Makes sense, right? Error. Then they try sum, which we all associate with addition. But in this language, it just means solve this. And boom, it works. That tiny 3-letter change was the key to being understood.
And once you find that key, a whole new set of doors just swing open. All of a sudden, the conversation feels easy. 10 plus 2? You got it, 12. 10 minus 2? No problem, 8. 5 divided by 2? Here you go, 2.5. Every single correct answer is a small victory, a little confirmation that says, yes, we're finally speaking the same language.
But, of course, learning's never a straight line, is it? Just when things are going well, the learner tries something a bit more complex, and a tiny typo, just one extra parentheses at the very end, grinds everything to a halt.
It's frustrating for sure, but it's such a powerful reminder of the extreme precision this language demands. One single character out of place, and the entire meaning is lost.
But they don't give up. They find that one tiny extra character, they delete it, and success. Just like that, the computer perfectly understands the command. And look at that result. A clean, beautiful sequence of numbers from 10 all the way down to 1. This is that amazing moment of satisfaction, where all the struggle pays off and you get exactly what you had pictured in your head. So, when you step back and you look at this whole conversation, what's the big takeaway? What does it all really tell us? Well, it reveals that learning a skill like this isn't just about memorizing commands. Not at all. It's about the process, it's about the practice, and it's about the personal little system you build for yourself to remember everything you figured out along the way.
And this is that system, right here in action. These comments are literally notes to their future self. It's like our learner is creating their own personal textbook, right inside the code. Okay, remember, this is how you add things, this is how you subtract. This is the moment a discovery turns into permanent knowledge.
Now check this out. The very last command in this whole log, it isn't quit or exit. It's save. And that is so telling. Our learner isn't giving up. They're not saying, I'm done. They're consciously choosing to pause, to save all their progress, their mistakes, and their discoveries. It's this quiet acknowledgement that learning is a journey, and they'll be back to continue the conversation another day.
So, in the end, this whole thing, it's not just a bunch of code, right? It's a first draft of understanding. It's the messy and beautiful and deeply human process of learning something new. And it looks pretty much the same whether you're learning to play guitar, speak Spanish, or talk to a computer. It really makes you think, doesn't it? When you're learning something new, what does your first draft look like?